banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
Here's the former Illini kicker, Chase McLaughlin, to get us started. And we are underway from Cincinnati. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. And sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Quickly to the air is Burrow. That's caught. Andre Yoshivas. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception, but not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now Burrow. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
It's funny, throughout the season, we keep hearing from different coaches and players about the so-called rules, and it's different for each position. But as a quarterback, throwing across your body is supposed to be a rule that you're not supposed to break, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially with a guy coming knocking you to the ground like that.
I think he was fortunate that didn't get intercepted, fell to the ground incomplete, but you got to really be careful about that one. Yeah, you can break it every now and then, but as a general rule, don't throw across your body.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, show confidence in your offensive line. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Burrow on play action. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Here's Burrow. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10. And Burrow going to throw again. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, They avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he's going to have the Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
They'll run for the first time here with Brown. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all this stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And now they will throw it with Burrow. Touchdown! Andre Yoshibas. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Running the toss to Irving. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
3rd and 3. From the gun, Mayfield. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Mayfield showing he can be fleet of foot, picking up the first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over it that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Well, that one hurts. I mean, it was 3rd down, of course, but now the penalty, and we're back to 1st down.
Yeah, it hurts momentum in a big way, and they built that up here in the early going. Now, that leaves the opposition with a 1st down. That's a mistake you don't want to make at this point in the game.
Baker going to give it to Irving. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. Mayfield. Oh, he's got Ibuka. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16. A good pickup there at 22.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Godwin, the motion man. And Mayfield just getting the play off. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The slot man in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Bucs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Irving. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. To throw, Mayfield. Complete right side to Otten. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Cade Otten, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They go play action with Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
3rd and 12. Now it's Burrow. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 42. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Throw left side, complete to Chase. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Bengals have taken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 14 to 7. Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
It's a gain of 11. And a first down.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Mayfield down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Mayfield. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback.
They've certainly hit the point of no return in this one because that was absolutely the last time they could afford a sack. You got to sustain your blocks and keep your quarterback clean for as long as it takes in this situation. They failed up front this time to do so.
3rd down and 13. Now Mayfield. That's caught over the middle by Hurst. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. Now a short one to Gesicki. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Burrow looking to pass. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
At the 21-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And this one is right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and...
All right, so we skip the rest of halftime and get set for the third quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So a 4-point game here as we get set to resume action in this third quarter of play. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 30. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Throwing, Mayfield. Now he's going to step up and run. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And the Buccaneers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Straight ahead, it's Irvin. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This is caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Chris Godwin, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Buccaneers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 17-14.
Bengals 14.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this 2nd half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good 2nd half here. Came out of the locker room, 1-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and 5. Now it's Burrow. This one complete to Yoshibas. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. This is Brown going up the middle. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
Able to find Higgins. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Burrow. Got a man open. It's Chase. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. That is caught. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 29-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Burrow. That's taken in by Higgins. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Brown is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Yeah, he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
McPherson's kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it's 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 3. They'll drop to throw. Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
Talk about a momentum shifter right there. Tie game, 4th quarter. These are the plays that win you games. And now defensively, the question becomes, how do you respond?
An inside give, Brown. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And that is incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
So a pressure spot here for Evan McPherson. This to break our fourth quarter tie. McPherson's kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Mayfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there, and now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Now Mayfield. Pass complete. Hurst. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so, but it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
The noise is getting deafening. Here's 3rd down and 3. Mayfield to throw. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
They got the completion. Now, they probably had 2 plays called in the huddle, so they've got to get to the line of scrimmage, get set, and run their 4th down play.
Another big play in a game that's had plenty of them. 4th and 2. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And he will have a Bengals 1st down, and it's celebration time on that sideline, and they've earned it. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter,